Welcome back. I'm Lindsay Janis reporting to you live from London after months of wrangling. Our top story here, GM has agreed to sell Opel to Magna. Let's cross live to Ryan Shilkot, who's in Berlin for us. Ryan, finally, tell us how it went down.
Finally is right, Lindsay. It is official. GM has agreed to sell Opel, its European operations, to Magna International. The German chancellor herself broke the news a couple hours ago. I should say confirmed the news after we broke the news several hours before. The chancellor saying the German government is pleased that GM has finally agreed to the sale.
I know that a difficult path is still ahead of Opel, but I also know that Opel has an incredibly motivated staff, and this will become a model of demonstrating how owners and employees are able to work together to tackle problems.
One final step in the formalities of the Opel Trust. That is a board made up of members from both General Motors and the German government. Has also approved the deal. That was always going to be just a formality. They rubber-stamped it just moments ago. Bottom line is Magna International, Canada's biggest car parts maker and a big supplier to General Motors, interestingly, is now a big-time car maker. Lindsay?
Brian, you left out the bit about how you were the one that told Magna the news about GM before they'd even heard from GM. Tell me, though, is this the end of GM's operations in Europe now?
Yeah, you know, some people would put it that way. Certainly, GM's European operations, Opel counted for about a quarter of the number of cars that General Motors sold worldwide. Opel sold just over 500,000 cars in the first 6 months of this year. That's down from previous years, but that's not chump change, let's face it. So it is a big exit, really, some people would say, for General Motors. At the same time, it frees up GM from what has been a real cash hog and a very unprofitable business. GM has been losing about $500 million a month for at least the last 3 months, burning through German government loans. The onus now, of course, is on Magna International to try and make a company that hasn't been profitable for a number of years profitable once again. Lindsay?
Thanks very much. So we all now know the fate of Opel. It will be in the hands of Magna. But what about the workers? Let's go live to our Philip Entz, who's in Frankfurt. Just a short drive there from Opel's headquarters. Philip, what's going to happen?
Yeah, the headquarters are just basically behind me, southwest of Frankfurt here outside the airport. It's called Rüsselsheim, where the headquarters are based. And what we hear from the field is that the workers in general are incredibly relieved that finally a decision was made by GM, but they are not over the moon, as you can hear from this gentleman here.
Finally, after months of negotiations and outright fear, this is a good decision and some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, light at the end of the tunnel, that's probably what it is, because, yeah, the real work starts now, Lindsay, and this was also what Angela Merkel was referring to just a little earlier, because now the real work starts, and the work looks like this. 10,000 jobs are at risk in Europe as a whole. This is what the Magna proposal has been saying all along. 3,000 of them are to be cut in Germany. As it looks, no factories will have to go in Germany, though, but 2 factories are at risk in Europe. It's not clear yet whether that is going to be in Britain, for instance, or in other countries such as Belgium or the Netherlands, where also GM has some operations. So this is still up in the air and has to be worked out. And there were numerous comments, for instance, from McFadden, that is the business secretary in the UK, that said, yes, we want to give money now and try to avoid this. So now speculation starts again despite having a deal. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Philip. 10,000 jobs at risk there.